Hi, lovely people. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Rich Brain. Today we are going to find a solution to the exponential problem on the board, which says that if 81 exponent sin square x plus 81 exponent cos square x is equal to 30, you find the value or the values of x. So come along as I find solution to this problem. So remember that sin square x plus cos square x is equal to 1. Then we can say that our cos square x is equal to 1 minus sin square x. That's sending the sin square x there. So in place of cos square x, we can substitute 1 minus sin square x. Then we can say that our problem, which is 81 exponent sin square x plus 81 exponent cos square x equal to 30 can be rewritten as 81 exponent sin square x plus 81 exponent 1 minus sin square x all equal to 30. So the law of indices says that a exponent m divided by a exponent n is equal to a exponent m minus n. Then we can apply that law to this and says that 81 exponent sin square x plus 81 exponent 1 divided by 81 exponent sin square x all equal to 30. So we have 81 exponent sin square x plus 81 exponent 1 is 81 over 81 exponent sin square x all equal to 30. So since we have 81 exponent sin square x to this and that, then we let another variable to be equal to say it. So we say let 81 exponent sin square x to be equal to y. So in place of 81 exponent sin square x, we substitute y. So we'll be having y, which is 81 exponent sin square x. So plus 81 over y is equal to 30. Now we'll multiply through by y. So we have y squared plus 81 equal to 30y. Can say y squared minus 30y plus 81 is equal to 0. Now factors of 81, we add, we get negative 30, we multiply, we get 81, this quadratic equation, which is negative 3 and negative 27. So we say y squared minus 3y minus 27y plus 81 should be equal to 0. Now we bracket the first two and the last two. What's common here? Y is common. We have y minus 3. What's common here? 27 out, y minus 3 equal to 0. So y minus 3 is common. We factor it out. Then we have y minus 27 equal to 0. So our y will be equal to 3 or 27. That's taking each of these brackets and equating to 0. So since we said we should let 81 exponent sin square x to be equal to y, and we got the values of y to be 3 or 27, we can boldly say that our 81 exponent sin square x is equal to the first value of y, which is 3. 81 exponent sin square x can be rewritten as 3 exponent 4 sin square x, which is equal to 3 exponent 1. 3 exponent 1. So since the bases are the same, we can equate the exponents. So we can say 4 sin square x is equal to 1. Dividing both sides by 4, we have sin square x to be equal to 1 over 4. So we'll find square root of both sides. You can say sin x is equal to the square root of 1 out of 4. And remember, the square root of every number is plus or minus. So our sin x is equal to the square root of 1 over 4 will be half. So now we'll find all possible values of x. So first we find sin inverse of half. And remember, sin inverse of half is 30 degrees. That's for the first quadrant. So we'll find other possible values of the x. Remember here, our s is equal to theta for first quadrant. And we'll use the mnemonic scheme, all silly term cats. What this means is that all the trig identities, that are sine, tan, and cos, are positive here. Here only sine is positive, cos and tan are negative. Here only tan is positive, cos and sine are negative. And here only cos is positive, sine and tan are negative. So here s is equal to theta, and this 180 minus s should be equal to theta. Then here x minus 180 is equal to theta. Then this place 360 minus s is equal to theta. So knowing x to be 30 in the first quadrant, which is this value, we'll find the rest of the values. And remember, theta is also 30 in that first quadrant. Then the second quadrant, where sine is positive, we'll say that 180 minus s should be equal to 30, which is theta. Then our minus s is equal to 30 minus 180 minus s is equal to minus 150. Our s is 150. That's for the first quadrant. So we can say our s is also 150 degrees. Now let's come to this third quadrant where sine is negative. Remember, the values are plus or minus. So where they are all positive and where they are all negative. So we use this quadrant. So x minus 180 should be equal to theta, which is 30. So our s will be equal to 180 plus 30, and our s will be equal to 210 degrees. So we can also say that s is equal to 210 degrees. Now the last quadrant, the fourth quadrant, can say 360 minus s should be equal to 30, minus s is equal to 30 minus 360, minus s will be equal to minus 330, and our s will be 330 degrees. So we can also say that s is equal to 330 degrees. So these are all the possible values of x if sin x is equal to plus or minus half. Also, remember, this is when only y equal to 3. Now we'll find when y is equal to 27. And also 81 exponent sin square x is equal to y, which is the 27. This can be rewritten as 3 exponent 4 sin square x, which is equal to 3. 27 is 3 exponent 3. Since the bases are the same, we equate the exponent again. So we say 4 sin square x is equal to 3. We divide both sides by 4. So sin square x is equal to 3 over 4. Now we'll find the square root of both sides. So we can say our sin x is equal to the square root of 3 over 4 plus or minus. So sin x will be equal to plus or minus root 3 over 2. The square root of 4, remember, is 2. So we are going to get 4 different values for x again, since it's positive and negative. Remember, it's positive in 2 quadrants and negative in 2 quadrants as well. So our s, first we find sine inverse of root 3 over 2, and that will give us 60 degrees. So that's for the first quadrant. So we use our quadrant again, the mnemonic scheme. Remember, s is equal to theta in this quadrant. 180 minus s is equal to theta in this quadrant. S minus 180 is equal to theta in this quadrant, the third quadrant. Then 360 minus s is equal to theta in the fourth quadrant. And all silly tomcat, the mnemonic scheme. So the first quadrant, we know s to be 60 degrees already, so we find the second quadrant. So we say our 180 minus s is equal to 30, and 30 is 60 degrees. We can say our minus s is equal to 60 degrees minus 180 degrees. Minus s is equal to minus 120. So our s is 120 degrees. So we can say another value for s is 120 degrees, being the second quadrant. Now the third quadrant, we use this, which is x minus 180 equal to 60 degrees. So our s will be equal to 60 degrees plus 180 degrees. Our s will be equal to 240 degrees. So you can say another possible value for s is 240 degrees. The last quadrant, we are almost there, which is 360 minus s equal to 60 degrees. You can say minus s is 60 degrees minus 360 degrees. Minus s is equal to negative 300 degrees, and our s is 300 degrees. So another value for s is 300 degrees. So we can conclude that the set of values for x will be, s is either s will be equal to, when s is 30 degrees, it will make the equation true. Then when s is 60 degrees, it will also make the equation true. When s is 120 degrees, it will make it true. When s is 150 degrees, it will make it true. When s is 210 degrees, it will make it true. When s is 240 degrees, it will also be true. When s is 300 degrees, it will also be true. Then when s is 330 degrees, it will also be true. So if you substitute all this into the place of s in this equation, it will result in 30. I hope you get this. Please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel if this interests you. Like and comment on my videos, because these are the only ways you can help promote my YouTube channel, and I can record more mathematical content for you. Until we meet again, this is Rich Brain.